It hasn't been long since we've boarded the airport express train, so much so that a few of us were nearly swept off our feet from the sudden change in motion once the train got going. I look out the window to watch an ever-increasing density of buildings fly past me. A few minutes pass, and this landscape broadens out into the horizon. An endless concrete ecumenopolis, I think this is, caked in gray skies. I feel miserable about it, but I try my best to keep a neutral face, constantly reminding myself that it could always be worse. At least there's no graffiti, no assholes doing pull-ups on the handrails in the train, no random puddles of God knows what on the floor. At least it's clean. Maybe when the snow comes around it'll be better. I see Monica's head turn towards me in my peripheral vision, dwelling for a few seconds before returning. Monica. She's been a big help so far. The last thing she taught me was how to buy tickets from the machines. She explained that not every train ride needs tickets, but for this one it needed it. I mull over the process of buying tickets from these types of stations, ultimately deciding to just go over the video I recorded of Monica pointing out which buttons to press in which order. All the differing colors provide a nice contrast to the litany of Japanese text, lending them a great amount of readability. Going over the video several times, I pick up on certain bits of kanji that show up a couple of times. I feel like I gotta remember them for later, but I know damn well I won't unless I write them down somewhere. Hey Monica, how long is this train ride?
Over an hour from now, I think.
Alright. I take out my notebook and pen from my bag that's in front of my feet. Time spent moving and doing nothing else seems wasteful, so I might as well be a little productive. I unfold the folding table between Monica and I, trying to figure out how and where it's supposed to spin. Eventually it flies flat above my lap, barely bending from its joint as I place my notebook and phone on top of it. I press play on the video again and pause to a specific point. It is showing a text box with kanji in it. I try to replicate it as best as I can in my notebook, after which I end it with a dash. Hey Monica, what does this mean?
Purchase, buy, something like that.
And the other one?
If it's with the same one, it means the same thing, but if it's on its own, it means enter.
Ah, thanks. I write out their definitions after their respective dashes, after which I end with another dash. And how would you say them?
Buy and enter.
Thanks. I write out how they're said in hiragana after their final dashes. Monica and I continue this back and forth until there's no more video left to analyze. A good chunk of a page in my notebook's got new kanji translations now. I must have doubled the amount of it in a span of a few minutes. I flip through the other pages of my notebook to see how far I have come learning Japanese, feeling somewhat embarrassed at how pell-mell my organization of certain topics are throughout it. Especially when I know I'm being watched, and especially because they know how to read both languages in my notebook. Because of this, I make an effort not to cross over the halfway mark of it. Content with my work, I fold my table back into its little crevice and stow my pen and notebook back into my bag. I stretch out before reclining back into my seat.
Hallie, do you have any friends back home?
Subtle. I know she didn't mean it like that, so I don't comment on it. However, I still find it pretty funny in my self-deprecating mind. Yeah, but they always had to go to some other school or move away. I didn't really keep in contact with many of them afterwards. But there's one guy I've been friends with for quite a while. I remember the original purpose I took that photo for back at the airport, but I gotta send it to him before I hit the hay. I know for a fact he'll attempt an international call over it, multiple times. I still keep in touch with him. He's been real keen on what I've been up to. What brought this up?
It's just that before we went through that video and analyzed it together, you reminded me of a friend we have. The one that didn't come with us to meet with you. She isn't really lively like those two over there.
Monica turns her head over to Sayori and Natsuki, both leaning over to their left, drool seeping from the corners of their mouths, the pair out like a light. Bad timing, but point taken.
Anyways, she tends to keep to herself a lot and always looks like she's in deep thought.
I see the similarities, I guess. She's not one for loud places or crowds either, I assume.
Yeah, hence her absence.
And her English? How much does she know?
Oh, she's quite good, actually. She reads a lot. She has a translated copy of a novel and the original English one side by side while she reads. I would say that she's almost as good as me, but she doesn't really know how to form sentences properly. But she would occasionally say some really long English word that none of us know or that never explain it.
I prepare myself to put on the best pirate voice I could muster. Hark! Salvation has come for thee, Winslow!
What?
It means that help is on the way.
Oh.
That was funnier in my head.
Anyways, my point is that she's really shy, but I'm sure she'll open up to you as she did to everyone else.
I see. Thanks for the heads up. I used the rest of this time to catch up on any sleep I might have missed out on my flight, as I didn't get a chance to grab an energy drink back at the airport. I rest my head further back into my seat, as if to bury it deeper akin to a pillow, though the seat gives only a firm push back against my skull. Closing my eyes, I try to think about nothing. Void. Noises all mellowed together. Indecipherable in my current state, with only sudden, slightly louder noises being of note. Moot points over a sea of nothing. Minutes pass as if they were mere moments, fleeting blinks of time. I can feel myself falling. I can feel myself in free fall. I suddenly twitch awake, very much aware of where I am, what I am, who I am.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Though I don't know when I am. What? How long do we have left?
Death comes to us all, some sooner than others.
I close my eyes, partly to process whatever she just said, and to also give them an extra moment's rest. The train ride, Monica. How long do we have left to go?
Oh, we're nearly there.
What the fuck, Monica? I open my eyes and look out the window. We're surrounded by residences and apartments now. Those could be 2 sentences. I feel the train's slow and gradual deceleration as it nears the station, commotion growing within the train as passengers gather their things and ready their bags. I ready myself, placing my backpack onto my lap. A few moments later, we all stand as I thread my arms through the straps. The rest of the group egress, save for Monica, who takes out my luggage from the overhead storage for me. Thank you. Or is it egress? I don't know how to pronounce things. With me being the last person out, we regroup at one of the platforms. Clear skies have driven the dark clouds far away, masking everything in a warm light. I noticed Sayori waving one arm in the air as if she weren't a few meters away from me. I also noticed Natsuki being a little standoffish and anxious looking.
Howie!
I approach her, the station platform making my luggage rumble with a newfound loudness.
Natsuki wants to ask you a question.
Now that I've gotten a closer look, Sayori's smile is just as radiant as her eyes when I relented to her demands over lunch. Settle down, Romeo, damn. Oh? What is it, Natsuki? Sayori turns to face Natsuki, her smile unwavering.
Are you going to stay in the club?
Natsuki seemed hesitant when asking me that question, as if she had her reservations or something. I really can't get a read on her. I suppose I have to reassure her of this. Yes. All of you have been really helpful. I can learn really well in the literature club. I curse myself for not knowing how to say it specifically in Japanese. No matter, though, it seems that my message got through as Natsuki adopts a wry smile, turning her head away to hide it.
Happy now!
Natsuki pouts, eliminating her smile. We all share a chuckle before heading off to the station's exit. We arrive at a crossroads with Sayori and Natsuki splitting off in the other direction, with Sayori twirling around to give Monica and I a wave.
Bye, you two! Bye, Sayori. Bye, Natsuki.
Goodbye! Natsuki raises an arm and flashes a peace sign, keeping her head and eyes forward. The two groups gain distance from each other, returning to an amiable silence, only broken by the nearby city's ambience and my luggage.
You don't talk much, do you?
Well, I thought it was amiable. That's not what my teachers think back home. But yeah, I don't really start conversations. Though I do keep them rolling on. I just do a lot of observing. But somehow I do all of that observing and I still do things without an ounce of forethought. Even now I just talk and talk. I look at Monica, then straight ahead, letting out a small huff. I don't know, maybe I just like having a friend lend a pair of ears and take what I say to heart. But enough about me, what about you? Excuse my prejudices, but when I saw you, you kinda struck me as the outgoing type.
Thank you. I guess I do have to keep appearances. I got into being a lot more confident because of all the roles I had to take up over the years. That, and also I seem to be quite popular, if that's the word.
A bit up yourself, aren't you? Knock it off, she didn't mean it like that.
People always come up and invite me to all sorts of things. But I wish they didn't.
Why's that?
I don't feel like they actually want to be my friends. How do I say this? It's all fake.
I see. I decide not to press on. The whole tone of that just teems with baggage that I don't really want to discuss with the person I met mere hours ago. We arrive at a street lined with two-story houses, and judging from Monica's fiddling and the jangling emanating from her pockets, I'd say we're nearly there. I take notice of how much more affluent and pristine this neighborhood is compared to the numerous ones we passed by. Guess I got lucky. In more ways than one. No, stop it. Monica puts the keys in the lock. A hefty and crisp click resonates through the front door before swinging open. I enter through the front door and immediately notice that the rest of the house's floor is raised, apart from a small section of the entrance. I knew this would happen, so I rid myself of my bag and pull out my pair of slippers that's been stowed and marinating ever since I packed for this trip.
Huh.
I take off my shoes and push them off against the Genkin step. Something on your mind?
Nothing. I just thought I had to remind you.
What, this? They taught us manners in Japanese class, back home. Don't try to combine class and back. It doesn't work. Wish they did in every class, to be honest. As I say this, I lift up my luggage to clear the step, only to hit it on the way up. Oh, god damn it. I look at the edges of the step to see if it had any marks on it. Any damage I do see is way out on the other side, giving a sigh of relief to myself. I grab the side handle to hopefully avoid future collisions and create a pigsty out of my host's house. Going up the stairs was less daunting than I thought, as keeping left whilst going up seems to have mitigated any chance of leaving god-awful black streaks against the pristine white walls.
That door there is your room. The door at the very end is the bathroom.
Okay.
We'll be heading out soon, so just put away your things in your room for now. I'll go get changed.
I give her a nod and approach my room. This room looks pretty lived in. There's all sorts of books in this bookshelf, as well as a desk with a keyboard on it. There are all sorts of books in this book. I take a closer look in and around the desk. It looks like there isn't an actual computer here, or there, just a keyboard and mouse. Strange. You know, it could just be like slightly off screen, like the monitor could be just past this point. That's how I always interpreted the room, at least. I put down my luggage, as well as resting my bag against the bed. Having freed myself from the weight of my effects, I stretch out and yawn, only to collapse onto my bed. I must have lucked out or something. This bed's a double. Taking advantage of this fact, I stretch out as much as humanly possible, feeling every single joint and tendon in my body release tension. A swift and heavy bout of fatigue sets in, and I close my eyes. Urgh. It's only been a minute, and I feel rejuvenated already, but I don't want to get up. I just want to lay here till the sun comes down and up again. Guess I'll get on my phone and doom scroll for a bit. No connection. Ah, shit, I forgot to ask. And that reminds me, I need to get a SIM card, too. Guess I'll snatch one while Monica and I are out for errands. I get back up on my feet and put on my flip-flops. I had my hand close enough to my room's door handle that I was a fingertip's length away until it jolted open. I retract my hand back so as to not get slammed by an untimely visitor.
Oh, sorry.
I notice Monica's change in attire, donning a faded green hoodie. Is she slumming it with me? You're all good. Besides, I wanted to ask you for the Wi-Fi password.
All right, it's 1995.
I pull out my phone, going to the nearest Wi-Fi network and punching in the numbers. 1995. Is this a birth date or something?
No, it's when...
She abruptly stops herself. I notice Monica's face display a slight sadness, eyes dropping down to the floor. My mind conjures up the worst assumptions on what this date could possibly mean. I really don't want to pry into the death of a loved one. Or at least that's what I think it is. I'd rather prepare for the worst. It's okay, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
Okay.
Shall we get going? Monica, without a signal, turns around and out the door, her footsteps echoing off of the corridor walls. I really hope I didn't strike a nerve.
Holly, we're going.
Okay. I hope to God the change in her tone means we set things straight. The sun's close to setting, with its orange light casting stretched, sharp shadows on every surface beneath a warmly lit layer of clouds. It is orange. Its radiance providing a smidgen of heat as the narrow streets funnel in wind that would chill Monica and I to the bone if it weren't for our hoodies. It is radiance. Monica's just a few meters in front of me when another breeze hits. I moment passes before a thought crosses my mind. Isn't Monica cold? I don't think skirts offer much in the way of warmth, yet I saw damn near every woman wearing one in this weather. How do they do it? Another gust of the wind barrels down to the two of us, Monica's skirt going haywire. I panic briefly, running ahead until I'm shoulder to shoulder with Monica. I don't have an issue being seen as a reclusive or anything, but I really don't want to be taken as some lecherous bastard.
You took a peek, didn't you?
As much as I dislike her putting on that dumb, smug smile, there's at least comfort in the fact that whatever happened back at my room is water under the bridge now. I looked away as soon as it started flapping, I swear.
Whatever you say, boy.
I chuckle and give Monica a slight smile, her shaking my head to acknowledge her doubt. We soon arrive at a supermarket, its artificial light piercing my eyes as dusk approached not far behind us. Centralized heating provides much needed warmth to my hands and face. Any longer outside and I could have sworn they would have rotted off. I tune out everything to focus on the main reason why I came here. Anything tech-related should point me in the right direction. Oh hey, a mobile phone section. There's gotta be some mobile plan section somewhere. I beeline over to it. Bingo. Helps to have SIM emblazoned everywhere on a portion of your store. I browse throughout the options, a wide range of data plans organized by length. 1-year plan. This one seems like the most value for money. Plus, I'm only here for 1 year anyway. I grab it and go over to the counter. Man. I didn't correct you when I said anyways before, but if you're gonna do it right, then do it right. Get rid of the S's on all your anyways.